looking at the second and is looking at the minutes. Call the meeting to order. Everyone please rise. Have an invocation by Mr. Morrow, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the wonderful life that you've given us and the daily blessings that we receive. We give thanks for the opportunity to live in a free country. We can make our own decisions. We ask your blessings on the council. We ask your guidance over the decisions that we make. We ask you to watch over our servicemen and women as they protect our freedom and our safety forces as they protect our city. For this we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call.
Grable.
Here.
Heffley. Henry.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Morrow.
Here.
Cole. Here.
President,
Mr. Cribbins.
motion to excuse Mr. Heath.
Have a motion and a second. Excuse Mr. Heffley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Heffley is excused. I now need approval of minutes of the regular meeting on January 7th and also the special meeting on January 14th. Motion by Mr. Henry, second by Mr. Cradle. Approve the minutes. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Minutes have been approved. Election and appointments, none. Special orders committees, none. Unfinished business. Quick thing in your papers, you should have had a thing about the, what was the thing called, right? The ethics. If your address has changed, and I think maybe Mr. Cradle address has changed, but check that. If you got that in your mail.
Where are you?
Or are you sure? Okay. Is everyone else was right? Make sure it's right so that Lynn can get that sent in. So check with Lynn after the meeting if you have any changes to your address or other information on that.
Are they gonna mail them to us this year? They usually do not.
Last year they didn't go on the electronic.
Maybe it's some notice to us. Okay.
Okay. Petitions, communications, none. Visitors? About time for visitors to speak.
Yeah.
Come on, Nick. Visitors. Committee reports. Finance and budget, Mr. Krieger.
Mr. President, Finance Committee met this evening. We had 5 legislative requests. First item, water bonds for $1.5 million upgrade. Second item, the water tower refi. It's the 4th year of floating this $1.1 million. Third item, appropriate 4,000 promotional items for the police department's 50th anniversary. Fourth item, enter agreement with Franklin Township to provide them with fire and EMS protection in a 2-year agreement. Fifth item, authorizing and directing the mayor to advertise the bids for the replacement of roofs for the pool, bathhouse, and pool filter building. Under other items, Roger Alexander reported the passport activity for the year. Also provided an in-depth salary report for the 2012 year. And advise us we need to go into executive session after this meeting. Roger Alexander, anything else?
Nothing to add, sir.
Kim Geller, anything?
Not at this time, thank you.
That's it, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krieger. Public services, Mr. Morrow.
The next meeting will be next Monday, January 28th, here at City Hall. Anything, Mr. Geller?
Nothing to add.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Public safety, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Safety Day, Monday, January 14th. We started off with fire. Under December statistics, fire runs, there were a total of 40. Under EMS runs, there were 162. Under transports, there were 98. Total calls for 2012 were 2,303. Under medical aid given, there were 348 calls, and under medical aid received, there were 241 calls. There was one legislative request to contractor, like usual aid, will be $6,000 for the year 2013, and $6,120 for the year 2014. On the monthly expense report, December 2012 wages were $110,943.97, with the December overtime total of $38,329.13. That was a total year of a total year overtime was $314,765.84. Under equipment, Medic 9 had to have the brakes and the heater worked on. The cost of repair was about $1,000. Under personnel, the new hire, Hoffman, is doing well. Under training, the 18th and 19th, there was an ACL class that was given by Air Evac that Heath attended. And then on the 29th and 31st of this month, there will be a rapid sequence innovation training, and that will be put on by Medflight. There was nothing under old business, and under new business, Chief had let us know that he was going to be going out to Marathon Oil doing an inspection on January 22nd. From there, we moved on to police, and under police statistics, there were 1,417 calls for service. Of that, 156 were offense reports, 48 were arrests, 52 were accidents, and 81 were citations. Overtime usage for December 2012 was $10,682. We did not have a total for the year at that time. So, Chief, did we get that, Chief?
No, sir, I haven't.
All right, thank you. Under legislative request, there was one. There was a request to appropriate $4,000 from within the general fund to purchase certain items used to commemorate the police department's 50th anniversary for 2013. And as of that time, on January 14th, there was $550 in cash donations and cruiser adhesive envelopes that were donated by the good ones. Under other, the Chief had brought to us an idea and a plan to, sorry, I'm going to get that messed up. That use Jay's local towing company as the city's first choice or preferred wrecker service. And they also talked about Jay putting in a 80 by 100 fenced-in lot down at the property located at Jay's Wrecker Service, and we would move our impound lot down there. There would also be a one-car garage that the chief could use for any cars that may be collected during a seizure where they'd have to keep those secured. At that time, the total quote was $450 a month for that service. Under other, Jeff Crable and asked for Chief's thoughts and statistics on the Route 79 project. I think more along the lines of traffic accidents that they run up and they run down, and I think Chief was going to get that information for the next meeting. We adjourned at 7 o'clock. Chief Shepherd, do you have anything to add?
No, only that donations are about $800 now.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you. Chief Leonard.
I have nothing tonight, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Streets and drainage, in the absence of Mr. Heffley, we call on Mr. Henry.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. We had a meeting tonight at 5:30. Just covered, number one item was the signs, and the first was the community development block grant, and they signs are in, and I was getting ready to start replacing them, and then discussed it, and the mayor wants to save the wooden posts that are taken out, where the new signs go in, to use in Floyd Reserve, and at the same time, Mr. President, Council asked that, what about the idea of selling some of the signs? And we'll look at that. Anything to make a few bucks is a good idea, so we had quite a good discussion on that. Bob and Mayor will be looking at this area. And then Bob discussed the 30th Street, getting ready to do some left turn lanes, especially to Custer left turn light. And we're going to wait. We had a lot of discussion, but we brought up fact that we're going to pave 30th Street, it'd be better to wait to see when the bids come in and we'll use, cables in the street or use a camera, so we look at this later on. And, Bob said he still had 200 tons of rock salt available, and Bob, if we keep it, don't use it, we buy 400 tons more, or we need 600 tons for the financial cost, so they can store and use it. And I think that was all that was discussed. Bob's not down there. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Community Development Zoning, Mr. Henry.
Okay, the community development and zoning will be, Monday, February the 4th at 5:30 p.m. Mr. Ruff, you have anything?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, David Shea, Mrs. Cole.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first item we met tonight at 5:55, and the first item on the agenda was in regard to taking pool applications. Bob reported that Charlie Kyle and Phil Mitchell have been going out to the local schools to take applications. They've been to Licking Valley and Granville so far, and will be going to Heath and Lakewood either this week or next. He said the deadline to apply would be approximately the end of March. Second item was the pool roof. The ballpark estimate would be around $80,000. It's a rubber roof on the bathhouse and the old builder building that are about 25 years old, and he has it in the capital improvements budget. Third item, pool rates. Bob is looking at the possibility of raising some of our rates to compensate for the minimum wage increase. It's gone up another 15 cents per hour, which will increase our costs. He's thinking of possibly raising the rate for under 48 inches on the walk-ins from $6 to $7, which he estimates would raise about $4,500, and also raising the membership rates possibly from initial $10 on family memberships and $5 on individuals. But he'll be having a management meeting with Ann and Ron to discuss possibilities and give him the authority to make those decisions. He was concerned that if we raised the walk-in rate for everyone else from $9 to $10, we might price ourselves out of the market. People would stop coming, which would hurt our revenue. So I was trying to stay away from that. Under other items, Councilman Kelly asked about the article in the paper related to the Davis Shea House and the Arts Council meeting, and Mayor Johns reported the discussion and said that there were some of the volunteers who are disgruntled and concerned with management, but some are happy. So there are challenges based on the city's declining financial support, as well as some of the changes that the Arts Council is trying to make. That's it. And Bob's not down there? All right, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Planning Commission, Mr. Craig.
Planning Commission is going to meet for the first time in a couple of months, this Thursday, January 24th. Mr. Groff, anything to add?
No, thank you.
John is not here. That's it.
Alright. Get my slow. Alright, brings us to introduction of ordinances. First ordinance 2013.
Ordinance 2013, ordinance authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $1,500,000 water treatment plant equipment bonds for the purpose of paying costs on ordinance to the city's water treatment plant, together with equipment and necessary purposes and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance 2013 will be held to a second reading. Ordinance 2013.
Ordinance 2013, an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $1,100,000 of notes of the state of Heath, Ohio, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of paying the costs of constructing the facility and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance 2013 will be held to a second reading. Ordinance 2013.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the second reading on ordinance 2013. And if we may defer, since we did discuss this in caucus, to Chief Shepherd to explain why he wants to waive the second.
Okay. As a second. Okay,
Oh,
just a quick,
I didn't let you read it, did I?
yeah, can we have her read it
I suppose
the
that's
first
right.
time, and then we'll let you make your motion? All right, so, Lynn, will you read ordinance, for 2013?
Ordinance 4/2013, and is authorizing the appropriation of $4,000 in the general fund to police materials and supplies, celebrate and commemorate the police department's 50th anniversary in 2013.
Mr. President,
Mr. Johnson.
I'd like to make a motion to waive ordinance 4/2013, and since we did not discuss this at this may be deferred to chief for an explanation.
Second. Yeah, the motion is second. Discussion. Chief Shepherd.
Yes. First of all, I apologize for not bringing this up in safety committee. I just plain forgot. But the reason I would ask council to waive second reading, I brought this up in October, and council won't meet again until February. Our plan was to start celebrating of sorts January 1. Thanks to the good one, we've got the Heath guns, we've already got those on the car. The other items that we'd like to use to commemorate the anniversary, we still need to order, or a special order, and a special die will have to be cast for a couple of the items. So, for purposes of being a little more expedient, I would just request council waive second reading. I would add that I have a verbal commitment from a company. Don't know how much, but my point is we've already raised about $1.4 million. I was on WNK over the weekend, so hopefully the word got out, and we will accumulate a lot of money.
The motion is to waive the second reading of ordinance 4/2013. Roll call.
Craig.
Yes.
Henry.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Holt.
We didn't have any discussion.
This is just a waive. No,
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
Okay, motion to waive has been approved.
Mr. President,
Mr. Johnson.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 4/2013.
Second. Motion is second to adopt ordinance 4/2013. Any discussion?
It doesn't matter, you want to go first, go best.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say that we had discussion in our meeting that the caveat would be that we will appropriate the money, but the mayor will then, as the money comes in, we will be able to sign off on purchases, and as long as that is how we're planning to do it, I'm okay, so.
Yeah, and, kind of apologize for the unusualness of this. Chief Shepherd and I, Mr. Johnson, were able to huddle a bit, and I explained to him my desire that being the way this is administrated. The money, should this ordinance be approved and signed by me, the money would be appropriated into the fund, just as any other appropriation of funds would be. But I discussed with Chief Shepherd my commitment that we make this effort to administrate this particular $4,000 in such a manner. And as I mentioned in our committee meeting earlier, Chief Shepherd and I have begun together personally contacting businesses in the area. I intend to continue to do that. I know Chief Shepherd has committed to continue to do that as well. And our hopes would be that we would be able to raise all of the 4,000 plus. So.
Okay, and I just wanted to say one other thing. I just wanted to say to the chief that, my concerns are no reflection on the value that I place on you and the department. I think you do a fabulous job. It's just concerns for the budgets.
Oh, I understand completely. And yeah, this is for the troops and taxpayers shouldn't pay for it. and we'll make sure they don't.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll do roll call.
Kramer,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 4/2013 has been all right. Ordinance 5/2013.
Ordinance 5/2013, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into agreement with Franklin Township to provide fire and EMP protection from January 1, 2013 to December 31, 2014.
Mr. President,
Mr. Johnson.
I'd like to make a motion to waive the second reading of ordinance 5/2013.
Second. I have a motion, a second to waive. Roll call.
Kramer,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Ordinance 5/2013 has been waived.
Mr. President,
Mr. Johnson.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 5/2013.
Second. We have a motion, a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President, just as a point of information, the city has, for quite some time, had, agreements with Franklin Township to provide a portion of that township, with fire and EMS protection. And, the city of Heath is certainly, willing to, continue in that vein. And that's what this ordinance deals with. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? See. Seeing none, we'll have roll call.
Kramer,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Morrow.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Ordinance 5/2013 has been adopted. Brings us to ordinance 6/2013.
Ordinance 6/2013, an ordinance approving the editing and inclusion of certain ordinances as parts of various components of the codified ordinances of Ohio and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance 6/2013 will be held to a second reading. Ordinances on second reading, there are none. Resolutions on first reading, none. Resolutions on second reading, none. Brings us to reports of city officials. Mayor Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome to those in attendance this evening. I don't really have much to say other than to wish my daughter Emily a happy birthday today. Thank you.
Thank you. Auditor Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Auditor Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I have no report.
Let's see, we'll start down with Mr. Craig.
No report.
Mr. Henry.
No report, but one question. You still having that meeting 24th?
No, it's tomorrow, the 23rd. We're talking about the Celebrate Heath Committee, but yes, tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd, at 7 o'clock here at Heath City Hall.
Anything else, Mr. Henry?
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Cole.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to welcome everyone, I have one very important item to wish Councilman Tim Kelly a happy birthday on Monday, January 28th. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Right, this
Yes.
important announcement.
I
know. Okay, we have, Mr. Johnson.
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Morrow. Dropping down below, we'll go with, John Miller.
Nothing.
Tim Miller.
Happy birthday to you and Emily. That's it.
Mr. Groff.
Happy
Chief Shepherd.
Happy birthday to the police department.
And Chief Butler. Huh? I'm over Lynn, you have anything? Let's see, what do I have? He gave such a touching report last Last meeting, remember I got all choked up?
That's right.
He said he'd been here for a year, and I got all choked up there. There's something I was gonna say, you mentioned the Spring Finger celebration. That comes under new business. I guess I don't have anything to report then. Brings us to new business.
Mr. President,
Mr. Crable.
I'd like to make a motion to designate www.heathohio.gov as the official electronic medium for city council publications.
Motion and a second. I guess you just provide it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so www.heathohio.gov is the official. Reading the bids?
Not to read, sir.
Miscellaneous?
Mr. President,
Mr. Crable.
I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss utility department personnel and collective bargaining.
Second.
Motion second, go into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And, coming out of executive session, we'll just probably go out over there, so we won't come back here during the meeting, so probably during the mayor, so there's no other business happening, so the rest of you go home and go to Palm Evans or wherever you're headed.